working? Now it's working. Okay. Christina Lang, 90 South Road. I'm speaking for myself and also for Showing Up for Racial Justice, Surge, Enfield chapter. One question before I start my 5, and that is, are we allowed any additional comments? I think we are after items, the resolutions F, G, and H are dealt with. Because I can separate what I'm talking about right now into 2 separate things. One is more about SROs, one is not. So should I devote my time to the not SRO stuff and deal with that later, because there will be opportunity? I just need a yes or no. I don't want to
The only opportunity you have to speak is right now,
okay,
or at the end of the meeting if it's before 11 o'clock.
Understood. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Very good. Okay. Well, today on Facebook, on the Enfield Community Forum, was posted this information. I'm going to paraphrase it. In collaboration with other Surge members, we've uncovered some pretty bad data regarding high arrest rates and potential racial biases in disciplinary actions at Enfield schools. While we continue to explore various data points, and that includes the elevated levels of disciplinary actions against students with disabilities, we have 2 other issues that I want to mention right now. Arrests in Enfield schools. During the 2022-23 school year, 42 students were arrested in Enfield schools. This source is, by the way, the EdSite state data. 20 at Enfield High, 22 at JFK Middle. This equates to about 1.6 arrests per week. Compared to 22 other cities and towns in the state with larger populations, Enfield ranks 2nd in arrests per 1,000 students. Another point, the racial and ethnic makeup of those arrests not known now, but a FOIA will get it. We should know. And allied with this on arrests that look horrific are suspensions. In the Enfield School District, over 21% of the 332 black students were suspended during that 2022-23 school year, indicating that roughly 1 in 5 faced suspension. That's 2.6 times the rate of their white peers who also had a suspension rate. I forget what it is now. I think it was 8.5. I can't remember. The suspension rate for students with disabilities stood at 12.3%. Now, we know there's also a significant academic performance gap that exists between black and Hispanic high school kids compared to white students. I won't go through some of the details, that's been posted. However, there's some strategic action items we need to take. First, this is why I'm telling you, I want to know if you're going to explain these numbers. We need to get the data on the race and ethnicity of arrested students. You can do that with a school admin and get details on what exactly happened. We have to look at the high suspension rates for black students and those with disabilities. That needs immediate action. There's potential racial and other biases going on, and disciplinary actions that might pertain with SROs should be discussed. You need an equity study. Finally, this might overlap with the SRO story. You're going to need some training and education. You need to have someone implement training, and I'm thinking of the police too, for school staff and police officers in implicit bias, cultural competency, and de-escalation techniques, not just Glocks, to mitigate the disproportionate impact on students of color and students with disabilities. That's sick. Finally, comprehensive equity study. You probably know what an equity study is. There are other towns doing it. Undertake a thorough equity study to examine disciplinary actions, arrest rates, academic outcomes, access to advanced courses, all of this related together. Identify this.
I'm sorry. Christine, you came up, you made some accusations. I think you're going to try to start something that doesn't need to be started. Kids are suspended because they do things wrong, not because of the color of their skin. So before we start accusing, the school system for being discriminatory, why don't we find out what the children were suspended for? Because I don't care if they're white, black, green, or orange. If they're threatening harm to another student in school, they deserve to be suspended. And that falls for special needs, too. Unfortunately, special needs has gotten so out of control in this country. Any child that needed a spanking at 2 years old, when he's 16 and don't want to listen, he's special needs now. When he turns around and punches his teacher in the face, he's special needs. He needs to be arrested. We have discipline in our schools. We need to worry about the other children that are trying to learn. So when you get your statistics about what they were suspended for, we'll have a conversation. Let's put the color aside and let's see what they actually got suspended for, because I believe our school system is too lenient for the amount of trouble that's going on in our schools in Enfield.